Good evening and welcome into HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas, where tonight the Rio Grande Valley Toros welcome the New Mexico United to the Lone Star State. I'm Josh Tolan. With me is former pro Sam Stockley, and what a match we have tonight as New Mexico United in their inaugural season sit second in the standings and have already amassed 10 goals. For the Toros, they are still searching for their first win of 2019. Currently, they are at the bottom of the table, but tonight, RGV looks to change their path and stampede their way to victory. And Sam, if they are going to come up with 3 points, Isidro Martinez could be one of the reasons why.
Yeah, yes, he is. Yes, he is. What a player this lad is. You can see here whipping in a lovely ball. Great delivery, great header, that is. He's a homegrown boy. He takes all the set plays. He knows how to find a pass. He knows how to deliver a ball. He'll drop inside and he'll combine with Foster, and Salazar's going to get his service. Here you see another great ball in from wide areas, and he's a key player.
Isidro Martinez, a big factor for RGV. But for New Mexico United, Santi Moar with 4 goals is a big reason why they've been successful.
Moar, for me, is on fire at the minute. You can see him. He can go left foot. He can go right foot. Here he comes in with a decent header. He can assist. You know, he got an assist in a week where he went to the byline and pulled it back. Just a wonderful player. But what he does when he comes inside, he allows Suggs to get up on that left-hand side as well. And the both of them can cause a lot of problem for RGV tonight.
And what a match we have. Rio Grande Valley FC Toros and New Mexico United next, right here on ESPN+. Welcome back into Edinburgh, Texas, and what a match we have between Rio Grande Valley FC Toros and New Mexico United. New Mexico United out of Albuquerque and Rio Grande from the Lone Star State. New Mexico making the trip to the right as we take a look at the starting 11 for Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. Some different faces in there. In net tonight will be Tyler Derrick getting his second start of the season.
No, and the big one for me is Cabezas, number 25 in midfield, come down from the first team. He is a player. Look for his play and his ability to play into Salazar. Foster's got pace down that left-hand side. And then you can see Martinez is going to be the one that's going to obviously deliver all the service. Starting
11 for New Mexico United. A lot of familiar faces there. Not a whole lot of movement for United.
No. What you see is what you get right here. You see Moa on the left-hand side, Estrada on the right-hand side, William up top. Just underneath Weehan, who's introduced, obviously, now without centre forward from before Fires. So, but what I like about this is, beg your pardon, is Suggs and Padilla coming up those wings. They'll combine in there and make it real tough in that attacking third.
So you have consistency on one side with New Mexico United, a little bit of difference in terms of players for Rio Grande Valley. We'll see how the inconsistency that they have in terms of chemistry on the pitch will play a factor this evening for the Toros. But what a night we have here in Edinburgh.
Exactly that, Josh. It could be, if the inconsistency's wrong at the beginning of this game, it could be a quick start for New Mexico United. You know, we all know about the Rio Grande Valley's back foot, just their defensive shape at the minute, you know. So I'm sure that that's something that New Mexico are going to be looking at in its first 5 minutes.
For New Mexico United, they come in, they are scoring in bundles, 10 goals on the year, but they have given up 8 already. We'll see if there's some spaces that Rio Grande Valley is able to take advantage of that back row.
Definitely, with Foster, Limone, and Enriquez, they'll play just under Salazar, and you'll see those three, they'll interchange, but Foster will stay a lot on this left-hand side. He's direct, he's quick, he's fast, he can take players on, and he'll hug that left-hand side with Janquar coming up underneath him. He supports in number 28 for Rio Grande Valley.
When talking to Coach Echeverry before, he just said a lot of times the team was just forcing shots, and that was the reason why they were going over, going wide, because in preseason they were scoring goals, but just not finding that yet here early in the season.
No, and he was funny about it, wasn't he, when he spoke? You know, he was really open about it, Gerson, and we had a good chat, didn't we?
A great chat with him, very entertaining indeed, very open about what is going on with his team. And you love to hear that when you speak with the coach. As we are underway here in Texas, Rio Grande Valley FC Toros and New Mexico United. And we'll have a throw in here early to start for Rio Grande Valley. Having the honors will be Andrew Samuels.
I love that start. Drop the ball straight into the corner. Now you're going to high press them away from home. I really like that. Rather than going backwards and then keeping the ball, first 5 minutes, turn them, put it over the top.
Playing it forward, now working the way to the outside. On it is Moore, who talked about in that opening, so dangerous. Gets behind his Suggs, crosses. We're gonna have offsides on Suggs. But there you just see a little bit of what Moore can do, just waiting for the run from behind from Suggs.
Well, it's set up so nice. You know, the head coach Troy's got it so nice there, because he's got Moha who's right-footed, and he can go both ways. There's no question about that, but he likes to come inside on that right foot, so it makes the fullback have to stay true. He can't dive in, and then you've got Suggs coming up, so every time he drifts into a strong side, he can either hit a shot or just play a little cut back to Suggs, and you see it there perfectly.
The Toros, a very good passing team, completing 80% of their passes. We'll see how they do in terms of controlling possession against this New Mexico United team, and that might be one of their key things to victory here tonight against United.
No, 100%. I totally agree. And I've heard a few conversations about New Mexico and how they play, and they like to play the ball long, and I disagree with that. I think that the style of play that they get down there, you think of the background where the head coach came from, Troy, from Charlotte Independent, where they did possess the ball, but for me, Charlotte Independent possessed the ball in the defensive half quite a lot. And Troy's come here and they get the ball into the attacking half and possess the ball. And that's what I like about this New Mexico team. They play quick, they get into the right areas, and then they start passing the ball.
RGV with possession, working their way up the pitch on that far touchline, but taken away by New Mexico United. New Mexico United on the season, 2 wins, 0 losses, 3 draws for 9 points, sitting second in the standings. RGV still looking for their first win. They have 3 losses and 1 draw for 1 point. They're at the bottom of the table at the moment. So they're just trying to find winning ways right now. Just find a way to put something in the back of the net. Just find a way to come out against New Mexico United, one of the top squads right now, and just give themselves a chance to win.
Well, it's interesting you say that. He's got Salazar coming in there. Before that, it's Small. And I've been watching Small over the last sort of 4 games, and he's very physical, and lovely little combination there. He's very physical and he's direct, but he's missed a lot of chances. Now, we obviously don't know whether this is a decision for technical or tactical reasons, because we didn't hear of any injuries, but now you got Salazar in there because I think it's important. They don't score goals. Last year they got 13, last game they had 13 shots and hit the target twice, so they've recognized that area.
Muhammad will let that go to the keeper, Cody Mazzell. Cody Mazzell has started every game for New Mexico United out of Woodstock, Georgia. Ball played up the pitch.
That's where Rio Grande Valley are very good at that. They'll pass the ball in there. We haven't seen Cabezas get on it yet, enough for me, but he'll feel himself into the game. Obviously, recently coming back from a thigh injury. How Gerson was talking about him, the head coach, how he'd like to.
Moar with a chance just outside the box. He's able to deflect that off. Last touch by Alejandro Fuenmayor of RGV.
Yeah, you just see Moa perfect there. Moa there, you can see, because he's got a right foot, defender has to be true to it because he's always looking to cut it back, so that's what creates those little angles. But I was just saying about Cabezas, sorry, before that, how, you know, he wanted to play more in the last game, but he was governed by the minutes from the first team. But today's game, he hopes he plays a little bit more, and he's key for RGV.
Weehan sends it in. That's one's headed up in the air. And then still loose, and then we'll have a whistle. A chance there for New Mexico United, as there was some confusion in the 6-yard box there. But ultimately, Derek getting a goal kick.
Yeah, Derek, that's where the game's changed so much for me. He's done everything right, the goalkeeper, for me there. He's gone up, he's gone to get the catch, and then obviously thrown himself to the floor. It's interesting, the goalies, you know. I like it. So they're untouched now. You can't touch them. You know, first 5 minutes back in the olden days, that would have been a knee up straight into the centre forward, and it would have been a how's your afternoon.
Tyler Derrick on the season, 2 goals allowed, and he's getting tested right there on that shot by Weehan. But Derrick seeing that one all the way through, just falling right on top.
Just a little counter-attack. Weehan nicked it there. You'll see, you know, cut inside. You see exactly what he's trying to do. He's just trying to open his body up and bend it far post. Didn't quite catch it, but you can see the threat that they have of Weehan.
Schmidt plays it back to his keeper. Cody Mazel has allowed 8 goals, but has made 19 saves, which is second most in USL Championship play. As we'll go back and we'll take a look at that last shot.
Yeah, just as I was saying about Cabezas there, he gives it away really cheaply, and then, as we said, there's Weehan. He's just trying to open his body up. Great little pressure coming, sliding in off the nice surface just to maybe put him off that final little touch, but just trying to open his body up and go far post.
Second corner coming for New Mexico United as Weehan heads back to that 1-yard arc.
Great delivery here. Whip it straight in, back post.
And he stutters and some jostling going on in the box.
He wants a penalty. Suggs wants a penalty.
He's not going to get it. Suggs coming over from Colorado Springs switchback.
That'll be interesting because he really appealed for that. He looked like he got thrown, and the referee's looking right at it. If he's having a word there with Cabezas, that's then, for me, that's a free kick. You can't call the whistle and tell him to stop it and then not give a penalty if he sees it.
And now Weehan will try. Low line, shot, and that's going to be deflected. Suggs getting a piece, but nothing on it.
Well worked that was.
Sent in, and that is going to be grabbed out of mid-air by Derek.
Clever little corner there. Josh, great little corner, just whips that in, steps over it, and there you see Suggs coming in with his left foot.
Waymore gets it right back, plays it down the touchline. Foster working his way inside, goes across the pitch. Great use of the space. Martinez to the outside. Now working their way back in. Great pass and just out of the reach. Just a little bit too much weight on that pass. But Rio Grande Valley, they're getting some good work going from one side of the pitch to the other.
Yeah, great work there. You could really see them just trying to open up. Just got caught in midfield with a little touch there that broke the flow. But no, good build-up, and you'll get that from Rio Grande Valley. They're good at that, you know. There's no question that their build-up and how they'll try and play. They'll try and get into these wide areas. They'll look to get Enriquez and Foster's out on this left and right-hand side with their 2 fullbacks, Samuels and Jaguar, getting forward. At the minute, they're finding it a bit difficult because New Mexico are playing so high with Moar and Estrada out on that other side.
Speaking of Moar, loses possession and then cleared up right back to Suggs for New Mexico United. Schmidt. Tite. Working to the far side. Now going back row, just gonna keep trying to establish possession and trying to deep ball, but no one there for New Mexico United.
Yeah, Tite just doesn't need to rush that. He's in good possession. He's just tried to force the ball long. You can see there, we can see the great shot that their back four dropped off.
Moar into the box, works his way to the right shot, and that one just to the left of the woodwork. Moar doesn't need much space as he took a chance there.
Brilliant there from the lad. Again, just see he's so dangerous. The defender doesn't know where to go. He's got a runner on the outside. He cuts inside, and he's so good on his right foot. Obviously, his natural right foot coming inside. But just after that out shot, you see Cabellas, number 25 again for Rio Grande Valley, trying to organise his midfielders, saying that Foster and Enriquez are too high in transition, and that's why he keeps getting on the ball. Moar, beg your pardon.
And Moar coming into tonight, first in shots attempted at 15. Just a man, you cannot give him space. Up for player of the month in the championship. It's one of those ones where he's going to be a player to watch out going forward the rest of this season. People are beginning to know who Santi Moar is, the Spaniard.
100%, and I think that's going to test him.
Foster unable to beat Schmidt to a good tackle there by Schmidt.
Brilliant.
Throw-in coming for Rio Grande Valley.
Brilliant tackle there from Schmidt. Sorry to come in there, but no, he was just saying back about there, and that's when it's going to be difficult for Moar, for me, I think, because they are going to get to know him, and then he's going to have different skills in different ways. But this is what he said. What's so good about him is he can go either way. So he's got a lot of tools, once he continues to sharpen them, because these back four and these outside backs are going to start watching him because he's such a good player for the team.
For Rio Grande Valley, they have yet to score an opening goal in a game. And just talking to Coach about how much pressure that could take out and just what that would change for them in terms of being able to dictate the pace and just having control of a game to start rather than playing from behind.
No, and we spoke to him about that, exactly that. And, I think that he knows exactly the positions he's in and is happy in that position. And we talk about this often, but when he's got some players coming down, there is a percentage of it that does sort of break the flow, and it's very difficult. And when you come into these games and you're playing against quality teams, everybody's good, everybody's got a system, everybody can work, and it's the details. And when you're not quite clean on your details, either in front of goal or defensively, you get punished.
Martinez sends one into the box. That's going to come out for New Mexico United. For New Mexico United, they are a team that's only conceded one goal to start off, and a team, when they put up 10, that puts a lot of pressure on the Toros.
100%. They'll press exactly like you see now. You can see them in the shape, and Toros have been excellent. They're moving it really, really well side to side at the minute. And this is what you got to do to New Mexico, because they're a high-tempo team. You've got to work them. You've got to work them. You've got to make them shift and move. You've got to make them uncomfortable and tire them out. And when they do that, Toros will have ability like this to get in between the gaps, and they're good enough to do it. Oh.
Enriquez just goes to the outside. Chance there for the Toros. But for Jesus, Enriquez just not fine. Or excuse me, actually, correction, not Enriquez on that. On that was Salazar.
Yeah, you see a picture there, Salazar, brilliant. And there was Enrique coming inside. He's just great body, just a little bit over.
And there you're looking at the second season of Christian Echeverry for Rio Grande Valley FC Toros.
It's interesting, isn't it, as we get to know these coaches now, as we're building these relationships, we've got great opportunity to speak to them in the week. And just talking to him. Oh, lovely ball there.
Offsides, but there, Salazar, if he's just back a little bit more, he still has a great chance to get that ball if he's on sides, then who knows what could happen.
Yeah, high line from New Mexico there, too high, especially with someone like Salazar. He just timed his run, he just went a little bit too early, but when you've got that amount of spacing behind, exactly that, get that timing right. That's a good let-off in New Mexico United. Is
that something they can continue to take advantage if they continue 100%. To play that high line?
Yeah, 100%. You've got Salazar, he'll do that. That's what he brings to the team. He's a lot like, they're similar. They have their style. You can see it comes down from the first team into Rio Grande Valley, and they play with us forward up top, whether it's Salazar, whether it's Smalls.
Suggs just trying to go across, but Garcia there for Rio Grande Valley.
I was just talking this picture there with Gerson back there, and we was just talking about him, and he said one of the things that he wants it to be hot. And he said, and he loves the size of his field because it's one of the biggest in the field, and he feels like that they can pull New Mexico United apart in their shape, maybe they can tire them a little bit. And you just had a great view of it there on the camera of how big the field is with the shape.
14th minute here, still no score.
They move it well, Rio Grande Valley. You can see the interchange there between Martinez coming in, Enriquez comes in. You can see Foster normally stays out wide. He doesn't.
Giveaway by Derek, nearly. It looked like New Mexico United was going to be able to control that, but unable to do so. Now Enriquez pushes it forward. Out to the outside.
Great play.
Just awaiting, now played back.
Corner. Ooh.
And able to get there was Cody Mazzell.
He's important for them. He does well. You know, he's a big part of the build-up as well. Modern day keeper, you've got to be good with your feet, and he's one of those young lads coming through, or should I say come through. He's been around, you know, obviously a little bit with the clubs that he's had in this league. Rowdies, you know, the Silverbacks. You look at Charlotte, you know, he's been around the block, and he's a big part of it for New Mexico United. I like what Troy's doing down there. I think, you know, you think he's been brought up through, you know, he knew from the start that he had an opportunity to be nurtured where he was in Charlotte, and then when he came down here, he had a plan, and he's putting it together. And I think we're going to see this over the next however many years with New Mexico United. I think they're going to get better and better and better. Their fan base is brilliant. Whatever
their plan is right now, it is working for them in terms of what they are doing in the standings. Yes, there's always things to work on, but right now, things going the way of New Mexico United. We'll have a foul there, and we might have our first yellow card given out. And indeed, we will have our first yellow card of the evening.
Cabezas just steps in. You can see here, just steps in trying to block it, catches him. I did think that's a yellow card, and it's his first foul. You'd be disappointed. For me, I'd be disappointed if I've just got a yellow card for that. Because I've just stepped in. I've not really shown any studs up. But I think he's getting a little bit frustrated. He's finding it difficult out there, the older pro, you know, when he's playing with some younger players in there, and you could see him just before, 5 minutes before, asking his midfielders to stay tight. He's having to do a lot of work in there at the minute because it's quality by Guzman and Mohamed in that midfield. It's difficult for him.
And brought to the pitch on the play was Salim Muhammad. Muhammad out of Richmond, California, the 23-year-old.
It's got to be a right footer for me here, not a left footer. You don't want Suggs on this. I think you want a right footer here. You can see coming in perfect. Look, you just want it just bouncing in between that 6-yard line, 6-yard box in the penalty spot. Whipped in.
We hand to the left of Suggs.
Got to be in swinging.
17th minute here in Edinburgh, Texas. Stampede is out tonight, the supporters.
But they got a trickler.
Weehan sends it in,
sneaky.
and it was that in-swinger, but nothing going in terms of movement forward for New Mexico United. Good thought process, just not executed fully.
I like that a lot. They did it in the corner as well. They tried to be a little bit clever. I like that. You know, it looked like they're going to play the offside. Weehan down the line, and then he walks back and then whips it in.
Lemonade on the far side, just outside the box. Enters, sends it across, and that one cleared away. But there you see Lemonade, the 18-year-old, already putting pressure on New Mexico United.
That was brilliant. Brilliant by the young lad. Great little step over, got to the byline, and great little delivery.
A lot of youth here in USL Championship. We can talk about Lemonade, some of the various other 18-year-olds that are in this game this evening, and the 60-year-old for Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and what he did in net, and Abraham Rodriguez with 11 saves at 16. Then you're seeing the 18-year-old and Lemonade on the side. Just a lot of great youth moving up in this league.
Yeah, you know, I think you look at Bethlehem Steel had, I think, 15-year-old, 16 and a 17-year-old, I think, maybe on their side. And, you know, I just think that, you know, I've said it many times, you know, you can see the head coach there was just talking about him. Another young up-and-coming coach who's waited his time and done his service, and now he's getting his opportunity, and it's just brilliant for the game. And, you know, he's talking about the young lads. You know, if you're a young kid in America now, you know, I've been here 9 years, I've played here, I've coached here now, and get this wonderful opportunity. But if you're a young player now, you've got a chance. You can go and play pro. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to do the school thing. And I know that's maybe not the right thing to be saying in America because education in some respects, but this is brilliant. This is brilliant, you know. You can go and play for your hometown club and go and get professional appearances at 18, 19 years old.
Or in some cases, 16.
16.
It's just ridiculous, yeah. The youngsters, what they can do in terms of the various academies and just the various leagues around the various states. Foster, just outside the box, unable to control, and New Mexico United.
That's what I love about New Mexico so quick. That first ball there just breaks the line. Really, really good from Mohammed. I know they've just come back, but they've looked to break quick. We spoke about that, and then they will go in behind.
Williams unable to control. Garza. Salazar can't possess. Lemonade now.
Oh.
It's going to be a whistle going against Rio Grande Valley.
It's an interesting one for Salazar there. I didn't think it would be cold enough for tights. Saying it'd be 90 degrees out there, but maybe he's coming back from a hamstring or a groin injury or something like that. But disappointed with him. It wasn't a foul.
Suggs pushing it forward, but stepping right in front is Junqua. Martinez. Foster. Suggs right on top of Foster, making it difficult.
And that little combination there we just spoke about, you Suggs going forward and Foster pulling into that channel where the gap that Suggs is leaving. RGV, once they win the ball, if they can transition it into Foster quicker, because Suggs is always going upfield, going up. If they transition into that space a little bit quicker, they're going to get a lot more success.
Garcia, far side. Cabezas. Enriquez, back to Martinez, just outside the circle. Samuels. Trying to find Foster, and it's going to come right to him. But Suggs and Foster doing battle, and Suggs going to win this one.
Great defending from Suggs for me there. Great defending. Physical, quick, sharp. Foster didn't really expect it coming.
Garcia pops it straight up in the air. In pursuit is Weehan. Weehan able to get a good first touch. Garcia trying to grab at the jersey. Weehan eludes him. Ball passed into space. Moore works his way inside, trying to get by Samuels. He's able to on the left side. Moore.
Brilliant. Great feet.
Trying to cut back. Somehow still in possession. Sends it across. Headed down.
Deserved more. It deserved more from Moa there. It was brilliant. Great feet from the lad.
Enriquez was trying to direct traffic there and coming up from behind, getting the ball taken away momentarily.
And that's where they just got to be careful, New Mexico United. Just there on that little transition. That's where RGV can really get you.
Tite. Schmidt. Santimar. Suggs. Now working their way to the back row.
Lovely touch there from the big man.
Tite doing a good job collecting that one. 23 years old from Ghana is Rashid Tite. Played at High Point University.
This is what's been interesting about them, you know. I know that, you know, they've scored a lot of goals. It's been talking about they've given up some leads and they've given up some points and dropped some points early, but you can see here they're only going to get better and better and better. They move the ball very, very well. Suggs,
the former captain of Colorado Switchbacks, gets it over to Moar. Guzman plays it right back to Suggs at midfield. Tite. Far touchline, and that's going to go out of play for a throw-in for the Toros. Junqua's going to come over and take it for Rio Grande Valley.
It's been very much down this left-hand side, isn't it? You know, for New Mexico. I'd like to see Estrada getting on a little bit. You know, maybe if he could tuck inside on the right-hand side, maybe they can find him just in the space between the midfielder and the centre-backs.
Ball up and comes down the pitch. Rio Grande Valley, ultimately Garcia will come up with it for the Toros. Lemonade Unable to do anything with that one. And now New Mexico United with a throw-in. As we're in the 24th minute here in Edinburgh, Texas. New Mexico United on the season 2-0-3, 9 points. Rio Grande Valley, meanwhile, still searching for that first win as they have 3 losses and 1 draw as Santimar comes down the near touchline. Suggs. Back to Moar. Moar. And that one poked away. Good job there by the Torres.
Foul.
But and that foul's going to go against Malik Foster.
It's going to be tough for Foster. He ain't getting much help down this right-hand side at the minute, and he's got Suggs coming down here, and he's got Moa, and they're having a lot of joy. And if he's going to keep diving in Foster like that, they're going to be able to deliver some serious quality into the box.
Muhammad, the man, going down for New Mexico United, and now another opportunity here for New Mexico United. Again, Weehan showing up there with Suggs.
I still think this has got to be a right foot in swinging from Rehan. Such a great angle, especially when it looks like there's a bit of breeze. Any sort of touch there, and it's so difficult for the goalkeeper. He should be hitting this back post with just whip as hard as he can.
Weehan, the 25-year-old, sets up. He'll send it in, and that one once again just goes over everyone, just not able to get anyone to at least get a head on, to get anything on it in terms of just touching the ball.
Yeah, you know, it's the right ball, but even with that, when you're looking at it, he's just a little bit far out to get what he wants out of that. He's got to get the height because of the distance, and that's what kills it a little bit there, but you can see what they're trying to do. They're just trying to whip it in.
This will come out at the near touchline. Mexico United looking to go quickly.
It's been an open game in this first 26 minutes, don't you think?
Schmidt. Tite, his center back partner.
I want to see Padilla more, get on the ball more down that right-hand side.
Relatively quiet night for both squads here in terms of just opportunities for shots. Had a couple chances created, but no one able to really finish anything off and get quality balls on target.
Yeah, it's been almost like a couple of set pieces, a couple of tricks at set pieces to be able to get some final product.
And that's going to roll out past the end line. Weehan was trying to make a run for it, but Derek was there to knock the ball out of play if need be. Instead, with the pace on that ball, it's just going to go out, and a goal kick will come for RGV.
There's Gerson, the head coach again. Really open about his group, really open about his team. We were talking about him, and then they went on an attack beforehand, but it was great listening to how he's trying to develop and the players he's got coming through. And he's really happy with where they are, very aware of what has to happen. He knows he needs to shut up shop. They're trying to build a competitive program and protect competitive, you know, team, but certainly understands the development piece of it all as well.
Guzman going left and then stepping in front are the Toros and just playing that one down the pitch. Schmidt, 6'1" out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's another thing about this New Mexico United squad. A lot of local products there, whether they went to the University of New Mexico or actually from Albuquerque. Another great way to build things in the community.
Oh, big touch there for the keeper.
And then he just plays it out. And Rio Grande Valley looking to take advantage of numbers, unable to do so. Throw into Foster, back heel. We have 2 balls on the pitch. Sent across, diving in. Oh, diving through, but just unable to get his head on was Lemonade.
Wonderful ball in. Great, love that delivery there. Whipped in, so difficult to defend. And he just said, like, Lemonade just couldn't get his foot on it, good defending in the end, but great service. I like that delivery into that near post.
Jeanqua. That'll be deflected out of play. Throw in for RGV. As we'll take a look at that last shot. Ball sent in and then just diving forward, no regard for his body, and then cleared away on the play by Salim Muhammad.
Yeah, brilliant service from Enrique there. Just opened his body up, whips it in near post.
Martinez.
He needs to be on the ball more. He needs to get on the ball for RGV, really get it going in this last 15 minutes. He's been a little bit quiet.
The 18-year-old Lemonade. Enriquez.
plays a little bit more advanced normally, so he's having to do a different role, which I understand, but he's got so much quality that he needs to just see if he can get him a little bit higher.
Fuemayor. Cabezas. Foster. Samuels just plays it back. Patient play by the Toros.
Just seeing in that little play there with Cabezas, again with Foster, he wanted it back. He's used to, you know, that he's used to a higher tempo. The young lad Foster just kept hold of it a little bit long. He's looking to bounce it, Cabezas there. He wants to bounce it, get the ball back, bounce it, get it back, and try and move New Mexico United.
Enriquez to Samuels. Sends one across. And that's going to go out for a corner for Rio Grande Valley here in the 29th minute as we approach into the 30th minute. And
This
now
a little bit of Rio Grande Valley, this is in some respects, that they get into the final third and then they just don't have that cutting edge. They just don't have that final quality ball. So maybe a set piece can open it up.
again, that was something that head coach talked about and Gershon Echeverry. And maybe this is one of those pieces, like you said, where that just changes things. If they just see something successful happen, where they've just seen so many mishappenings as it's sent in, and then just nothing going on that piece, but still in control. Samuels. Martinez sends it in. And that's going to be still loose, and we're going to have a whistle before the shot.
I don't think you can see there.
And Mizell was bumped into by Salazar.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They both jump up. The goalkeeper gets a little bit caught as he comes down, and then they're wrestling for a ball.
For Rio Grande Valley, not going their way, and New Mexico United will take that.
Goalkeepers Union, that is, Josh, Goalkeepers Union.
New Mexico United second in the stands behind Tulsa Roughnecks. Tulsa Roughnecks at 3-1-1 coming into the weekend. New Mexico United again at 2-0-3. Sacramento Republic right behind them at 2-0-1. And then Portland Timbers 2-1-1. Derek collects, rolls it out Fuemayor. Fuemayor just plays it right back to Garcia. Martinez trying to escape Williams. Takes the touchline, drops it off for Garcia, who just plays it out. And that one, they're going to say last deflected by New Mexico United.
Junquar just having a little moan at the linesman there, thinking that it bounced off their player. It looked like he kicked it against him because he ran out of a little idea. I thought it was a clever little play from the fullback. I thought he just played it off him to try and get a throw in.
Enriquez doing his best to harass Tite. Suggs looking at his left, goes that way. Estrada, he's been relatively quiet tonight this evening as well.
Yeah, he's just switched up with Moa. I think it's clever there. They've just had a little switch. Game went a little bit flat there in that sort of for the last couple of minutes for me, and they've switched him over to the other side now. Maybe give Estrada a little chance coming down this left-hand side and the gap that Foster leaves.
Guzman. Tite. Suggs. Guzman goes right over to Muhammad. Muhammad trying to go near side of the pitch to Estrada. Foster shielding off Suggs. Cabezas into the middle. Martinez.
Good play. Really good play there.
Lemonade plays it back. Junquar back to Lemonade. Try and get the 1-2 combo. Unable to, as that's knocked out of play by New Mexico United.
No, but both, you can see in this, both teams are trying to get the ball wide, right? And sometimes you just hope they just have a look inside. They popped it inside into Salazar's feet. There's so many gaps there to pop it into his feet and get it the other side.
Nothing going there that time once again for Toros. Estrada outside, gets right back. Try and play it down the touchline, but just too much on that. Garcia right there for Rio Grande Valley. We have a player down, and that is Foster.
Suggs and Foster, you can see it. They've been getting off. They've been having it all afternoon, all evening. I think it's great. It's a great little battle.
We do have one yellow card given out already. That was to Cabezas. That coming in the 16th minute for Rio Grande Valley. And here getting the lecture is Justin Schmidt, the center back out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Played college ball at University of Washington, two-time first-team Pac-12 member.
Came up through Real Monarchs, doesn't he? Real Salt Lake and Real Monarchs, which gives him a lovely little pedigree as a centre back. They produce good players back there. You know, they got a great academy, trying to get their players playing.
And that's who they will be seeing next week is Real Monarchs. That will be Saturday night.
This is where it needs a little bit more, just in these final areas from both sides.
Junqua. Enriquez. Cabezas. Trying to get back to Enriquez, maybe Foster. Those were the two players in there for Rio Grande Valley, just unable to slip that pass through.
And that's where it comes to that little bit of inconsistency. I know we've harped on it, we don't want to beat a dead horse, but just when a team ain't always together, those little movements, that's what you create in training. Those little combinations, those 1-2, you know where your mate is. You know, I always played right back, so I always knew where my right winger, my 7 was. He'd be inside, I'd be outside. I'd be outside, he'd be inside. He'd come short, I'd go long. You know, you build up all these little relationships and understanding, and when the team's always changing, like it is for RGV, sometimes that's hard.
How can you build that chemistry a little bit faster, or is it just, again, take time no matter what, and it's not something that you can push forward any quicker than it already is?
No, you take time because it's part of their philosophy. You know, you can see that all the teams are playing the same. The players are being set up in the right areas of the field and what the combinations should be. If the outside back's wide, the wide player comes inside, or the 2 centre-backs split and the 6 drops in, you know, you can see that they're all trying to do that. But no, it just comes down to chemistry on the field, you know, lads that you have a laugh and a joke with in the change room, you pick on a few lads, you know, in a good way, and they pick head tennis and all these different games that you have that creates all of those chemistries.
Junqua, try to drop it off for Lemonade. Lemonade battling, trying to get the ball, but that's going to be taken away by Padilla. Also there to help out was David Estrada. Ryan Williams falls down. Try to take advantage. Foster in pursuit. Sends one in. Ball still loose in the box, and Guzman pushes it over to Schmidt, who will clear it away, but he clears it right to the Toros, and now Foster right back on top, sends one across. And that one's going to go above everyone, and Estrada's going to play that out towards the corner, and that's going to stay in. So no worries for a corner kick or a possible throw-in, and now New Mexico United can build out.
Great opportunity for Foster to put in a better ball. He had no pressure. He could have took it 10 yards and then delivered it. That looked like a foul.
By Fuemayor.
Fuemayor looked like he came in and caught him a little bit late there.
Guzman. Schmidt. Suggs. Right back to Schmidt. Mexico United being very patient here in the 37th minute. Tite. Padilla. That one intended for Muhammad, just unable to get there. And then blocked by the backside of Suggs as he was on all fours. Martinez. Junqua on the outside. Low liner across.
Disappointing cross there from the outside back. Junqua, disappointing. He's better than that. He's got a lovely left foot. Seen him play this season already, and he likes to get forward. He'll be disappointed with that.
Trying to get it to Salazar there, but just, like you said, a disappointing touch there from Junqua. Again, just some misses, just unable to finish. Foster now working his way outside the box. And he loses possession.
It's too much from Foster. He's just got to open up and combine.
Suggs trying to get by Enriquez.
You can see he's having a constant conversation with Ceballos. Just asking to combine. They're not quite on the same wavelength, him and Foster, at the minute.
Suggs into the box. That one blocked away. Good tackle there by Fuemayor. Rio Grande Valley able to take possession, then played up and out. And a throw-in coming for New Mexico United.
Took it quick. Got the old ball boy or ball girl down there getting that sorted quick.
Suggs Guzman, right back to Suggs. Tite.
Just needs to be a little bit quicker. When they get it in these areas, it just needs to come in centrally, because if it comes in centrally, it closes. They just move it a bit quicker, you know?
Mazel.
It's brilliant build-up. Nice and calm and composed. Look, gone all the way back. And now it can be quick, because they've stretched them out.
Tite. Padilla. Right back. Guzman. Just trying to find little gaps that they can work up the field. Little holes they can take advantage of. Again, not rushing anything at the moment. Moar. Switching back to the near side.
That's nice.
Can Moar get there? He's able to keep it in.
Foul.
And they will call a foul here. The question is, will anything be given out to Malik Foster? And they are already showing the yellow card.
Yeah, he caught him proper there. Brilliant play again from Moa. Foster, we spoke about this, getting a little bit frustrating, getting caught in his defensive duties. He's a forward player that wants to be going forward, and he's having to do a lot of work defensively. And just a lovely little give and go here to start with. Moa pops it round the corner and gets it back, and he rides it here perfect. He knows exactly what happens, reads the tackle, just lifts his legs up. You see Foster coming in low. Just here you see a better angle there. He just lifts his standing foot just to impact there, just to take the hit. He knows exactly what's happening. Great play.
Saw it coming. Foster knew what he did all the way through. And a kick opportunity for New Mexico United here in the 41st minute. Still 0-0.
See Foster on the right, on that left-hand side, and Enriquez on the right-hand side, getting that wall sorted.
Suggs back to Weehan. Weehan sends it in.
Fancied it.
And that one twisting to the right, but he was feeling it on that one.
That was a long way out. You've got to be disappointed with your goal if he hits it from there. Why not try it? Just got a little bit stuck, didn't it? You can see the 1-2.
You saw the surprise that they had earlier there in the first half on a set piece, and then that one just again with Weehan there firing from about 40 yards out, maybe a little bit closer. A
little bit of wind, as you see in the flag, it was going that way. If he catches that right, that could dip right into the far corner.
Neither keeper has been tested yet this evening here late in the first half. We'll see what adjustments are made in the second half at halftime to see how improvement is made. But right now, pretty quiet on both attacking sides.
I just think it's, like we mentioned, I just think it's just a little slow. I think both teams in attacking, it's good, but when they get up into this final area, the build-up's good into this middle third area, and then when they get to that final area, both teams just seem to be a little bit predictable, going a little bit wide, just a little bit slow. That's where they've got to have that bit of creativity. You need this lad on the ball. He can make it happen. You know, Martinez just driving, getting him driving, going inside. He's having to play a little bit deeper because of the system, which is fine, but he's a quality player.
2 assists for Martinez, 4th in the league. Yeah,
he's got, you see him, he steps on the ball now, he's going to take the delivery, but if you think this type of service when you're 25 yards out on the run and you're picking out Salazar or you're picking out Foster coming in on the other side, then that's what he's really good at, finding that empty space. But he's having to deliver everything from deep, so it's a bit difficult for him.
Main creator for Rio Grande Valley. 9 chances created already coming into tonight's match.
Wonder how many of them are set plays.
And he'll send it in.
No one there.
This will be headed out again, just not finding the space, not finding the targets as this has headed up. And then a try. Enriquez making an argument that he kept it in on that end line, but what a try there by Fuemer.
He doesn't look like the type to get a goal bike in there, but he could have proved us wrong. But again, this ball for me, a little bit floaty, but no one there. Gets caught up in the wind with his bad header there, keeps the ball alive there, and it pops up perfect for the centre-back to give it.
He had it timed up.
He had it, but he just didn't have the speed to get it over his shoulder.
The other 5 on the other side, Suggs will pass it back.
He would have seen the lights there as well. It was set up perfect for him.
Night would have been over for him if he did that. He probably would have just... That's one of those ones where you see the jersey come off on a bicycle like that.
100%, because it was perfect. Good setup for him.
Have a whistle again. Our official trying to calm things down. As we've seen a little bit of physical play between both squads. Some hard tackles here early in the first half. One warranted a yellow card, that one coming from Malik Foster just a few minutes back.
Nothing malicious, though, I don't think. Nothing that the game hasn't warranted. It's been quick. There's been good, there's been some really quality movement, and that's what happens, doesn't it? Come flying in and you get caught because the movement's so good and the ball speed's so good.
Garcia from the pass from Puemeyer. Martinez, back to Garcia. Garcia out of Queens, New York. Martinez.
That's the ball
into the
we're on
box. Salazar just not able to split the defenders and get to that ball. Good play, though, there by Martinez. Salazar on top. Shot, and that's blocked in front. Up in the air as Schmidt tried to clear that one away. Salazar once again continuing to attack, and then falling on top is Cody Mazel.
Schmidt does brilliant for me here because that drops down for Salazar, and there's only one thing in Salazar's mind, and he's going to hit that, and Schmidt gets himself right in the way. Great defending there because he's taken one. I've been in that situation myself. He's just stopped a goal there with a great block.
And you wonder now if everything is all right by Schmidt. Just one of those, the initial contact more than anything, the surprise, that just initial hit, as long as he can get up and walk things off. But also maybe a good thing for New Mexico United, depending on what this case is they're about to go into half, so at least they can get things figured out if he's able to stay on the pitch.
Yeah, just see a great little build-up play here. Comes out to Ceballos there, and it just gets a little ricochet and a block, and there you can see he actually pulls out of it. But that's what actually the problem is. He goes to block it and then actually pulls out of it, and that's what catches him a little bit. That's his story there. Never pull out of a tackle in that situation. He's got to go right through that. That's what gets him injured.
So we enter extra time here in the first half. Still 0-0. A minute will be added on, but it'll probably be maybe a little bit more here with this late injury to Schmidt.
I think the referee's just got to use his head here and just blow the whistle. I think all the lads are ready to go off.
Just let the goalie kick it away. In this case, it being Cody Mazel, and then call it the first half. Let these two teams go inside, regroup, get things situated and figured out.
You've done well there, the centre-back. I know I said he's pulled out of it a little bit, but it's still a great block.
Great to see him jogging off, and again, he'll have some time to work that off. But also, that's one of those things where you never know with an injury, when you go in a half to sit around for 15 minutes, how that can play a factor if things tighten up.
Yeah, nah, I always, whenever I play playing, I always knew. You always know. You always know. Unless you roll your ankle, sometimes you could get a little snap on your ankle, and it's like, well, I just need to walk this off. But normally something like that, where it's a studs up and you're like kicking onto the bottom of someone's studs, they're normally the worst. That's the one that kills when you kick the bottom of someone's studs.
Mazel sends it across midfield. Maybe one last go for New Mexico United. Weehan. And that's going to go out. Last touch by Estrada. Throwing for the Toros. Fuemayor. That gets by Martinez, but the grab of the jersey will garner a whistle.
Lovely little turn from Martinez there. He's knows exactly what he's doing. There's a half-time whistle. Just let it cross his body. Mohamed came flying in.
So for both teams, not much going in the way of opportunities on goal. Seen both teams here in the first half being relatively patient with both squads, both also working on the outside. For you, going into halftime, if you're one of these coaches, what are you telling your team?
If I'm going in there, if I'm New Mexico United's coach and I'm Troy, I'm going in there saying, listen, great first half, keep going, work rate's good, but we've got to be more decisive and we've got to be faster in that final third. We've got to look to combine into Weehan's feet and then get underneath them and get some shots off. And I'd be exactly the same if I was a Rio Grande Valley. I'd be head coach and I was Gersten. I'd be telling him that we need to get into Salazar's feet, we need to close the gaps a little bit, and then we can go wide, or let's try and penetrate and get some shots off.
Well, we head to half. Rio Grande Valley FC 0, New Mexico United 0. Welcome back into Edinburgh, Texas. Here, Rio Grande Valley 0, New Mexico United 0. Just not much going on here in the first half in terms of opportunities. We were talking about it there in the break. What did you really see in that first half, just mostly in terms of play?
Just, you can see that New Mexico United, they're strong with Moa down there, left-hand side. Him and Suggs combine really, really well, and they've had a lot of success. I'd like to see Estrada get into it a little bit more on that right-hand side. And Weehan, you know, he's got to start being a little bit responsible and try and get some shots off.
Well, seeing some bubble soccer, but we'll have more stuff right here in the second half in just moments here on ESPN+.
If there's one thing with USL Championship clubs, is that they have a way to make the experience unique to their club. If there's one thing with USL Championship clubs, is that they have a way to make the experience unique to their clubs. I'm on site here at BBVA Compass Field in Birmingham to talk a little bit about this iron factory they have on site. I'm joined by Marshall, the Director of Metal Arts at Sloss Furnaces. So, Marshall, first off, tell us what an ingot is.
Okay, so an ingot is basically just a unit of iron. Okay. So it's just a way to make the iron portable and mobile and in a manner that can be sold. Okay. So the process that we're going to be doing in-game is a little bit different than the casting process. This is a forge setup. So typically used for blacksmithing. You're typically not trying to completely melt what you're working with. You're just raising the temperature enough that it can be malleable. Okay. So what we're going to be doing throughout the game is taking one of these in our forge and getting it up to temperature red hot and having that on standby so that when we score a goal, we'll take it out of the forge, over to the ingot, and we have a special die with a spark on it off of the Legion logo. Right. And that'll be placed on it and struck with a hammer. It's a two-man operation. Ready, the assistant will take that, they'll take the die and put it in place, and then the other person will strike it with a hammer. So each goal that's scored will get a mark, hopefully a lot of them. Yeah. And so we have one for each game. Okay. So to have the team that they're playing, and so throughout the season, throughout the years, we'll begin to accumulate these and create an iron wall back here with each ingot from the games. That's going to be amazing. Yep. How cool is that for people to come in too and kind of see this little, you know, characteristic of Birmingham? Yeah. That's awesome. Hammer down! You know, they can tell how hot the steel is by the color. Got it. Burning up, red hot.
back to HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas here, home of Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, where we are all knotted up still 0-0 between Rio Grande Valley FC and New Mexico United. As we take a look here at some news and notes around the league in USL Championship play. But for USL, lots of different things going on, lots of different matches, and that's one of the great things as here you look at the USL Championship on ESPN. Memphis 901 FC will host Atlanta United 2 on Wednesday, 8 Eastern on ESPN News. Player of the Week. Again, we talked about this earlier in this game. 16-year-old Abraham Rodriguez, 11 saves against Phoenix Rising, and just not any fear on that kid last week, and doing it again this week as he has going up against Orange County, and we'll see if he can rematch what he did in that last performance. 11 saves, 16 years old, unbelievable.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah, we spoke about it in the show. What an opportunity for him, and he's holding his own, and it just goes to show, for me, I'm a big believer of it. You know, if you're good enough, you're old enough.
And here you take a look at the upcoming schedule and what we have on. Again, April 10th, that one on ESPN News. You have April 30th, Louisville City FC, Memphis 901. And then another one, May 26th, ESPN News, Birmingham Legend FC, Nashville SC. And then if you look at the right side, you see a little bit more ESPN 2 games, ESPN 3, ESPN News. So the ESPN family heavily involved this one tonight on ESPN Plus, as we'll head to highlights here in the first half and what we saw from Rio Grande Valley and New Mexico United.
Just see a little giveaway here from Ceballos, who just got caught, and they say Mora, who's just been excellent for me in this first half. You just see a little giveaway, and he pounces on it here. Just beg your pardon, Wehan, should I say, comes in there, and he's just trying to open his body up and bend it far post. Beg your pardon, that was Wehan, but here you see just a little bit of foul, and it's been a little bit like this all game for me. You know, it's been a bit stop-start. It's been a bit frustrating for both teams. Opportunity here, a little back heel from Foster, and then a great ball in, and you see just trying to get on it. You can see Martinez there just trying to get across there and get in there, a little diving header. Enrique's putting in a lovely little ball. But it's only been limited opportunities coming in. Big high ball here. I thought this was okay. We spoke about it. I think that's a great opportunity. You can see, you can tell by the goalkeeper the reaction that he doesn't think it's a foul. He thinks he's got to come and get this. He tries, he drops it, and there it is loose. And Salazar just misses that opportunity, and it's just been a little bit like that, just a little bit of a huff and puff. But this left-hand side has just been where it's happening for me, 100%. And there's Moa. Foster flies in. Moa's giving him a difficult first 45 minutes.
Junqua sending it back in, just headed around. And there, that bicycle kick, that try by Fuemar, the center back. Oh, man, if he would have connected as someone that lived in the back row, that would have been something. You, I'm sure, would have been up.
Oh, when it went up in the air and he teed it up, I thought it's a perfect opportunity. Then being the old centre back that he was, he couldn't quite get that right foot over.
As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for Rio Grande Valley FC, OKC Energy FC, then versus Las Vegas Lights FC, then on the road for 3. LA Galaxy 2, Portland Timbers 2, and Phoenix Rising. So schedule, they got some teams in the bottom 10 as well as the top. So they have their work cut out for them, but some games that are very winnable. Yeah,
but if you look at OKC, they can score goals at the minute. There you had Las Vegas Light. They're a team that can score goals, and you just hope that something opens up for Rio Grande Valley, because they're the team that seems to stifle and they can't really score many goals.
New Mexico United back at home, taking on Real Monarchs SLC, 730 Mountain. Then on the road, Reno 1868 FC, Portland Timbers 2, San Antonio FC, and El Paso Locomotive FC. Again, New Mexico United, people are hunting them, so that's a different feeling for this squad being their first year in USL Championship play.
Definitely, still trying to get themselves going. You know, they're still just trying to get that their sort of follow-up win. They had a great opportunity. Obviously, they won at the weekend, should I say, and now they can back it up with this game. They got 45 minutes for New Mexico to come out and really have an opportunity.
New Mexico United, kind of the unknown expansion team coming in this year, being established in June 2018, just last year, as they began to put the pieces, and the pieces they have brought in has been so far paying off big dividends for New Mexico United.
No, exactly that, you know. Hopefully now Estrada can join in and get a little bit more involved, and Williams, and I think that they're missing Frater a little bit up top, you know. He scored a wonderful goal. We talked about Moar, he got to the end line in that game and cut it back, and then you see Frater come in with a lovely little finish, and they're missing that at the minute, you know. In the last week's game, he took shots, he gets out, he gets in behind teams, he hits things early, he's a little bit of a character, he's sort of emotional, and that's kind of what the team's missing for me at the minute, New Mexico. You look at Devon Sandoval, who's another player that can be in there, who's a massive presence. Every
one of those players, other than Moar and Frater, 3 goals, Sandoval, 2 goals. So you have guys that are contributing that aren't playing this evening, not even on the roster list tonight. And then the next player with a goal, only 1, is Ryan Williams, and he hasn't been doing much tonight. He's been relatively quiet, like both sides in tonight's match.
100%, you know, and that's where you're looking for Moar, that's where you're looking for Estrada. Maybe you get Tite, comes up from the back, maybe a set piece. They've been clever, New Mexico, with their set pieces. They've not just delivered it in the box. They've tried to cut it back. They've tried to have a couple of signals to free someone up. And then for me, you know, Suggs has been excellent on that left-hand side, but Padilla's not been as effective on that right-hand side. They've been very one-dimensional in that first half for me, and that was all down this left-hand side.
For Rio Grande Valley, just 3 players have scored for them on the season. Ramiro Hernandez, who is out for this evening. Jesus Enriquez, he's on the pitch, as well as Nico Lemone. Maybe one of those two players can get something going for this team.
Yeah, again, Lemone was a lovely little glance header. We see it in the pre-game show, but again, it got delivered for me from Martinez, and we spoke in the first half, he's playing a different role. He's got Cabeas next to him, and Martinez, who's playing holder, but he's the one for me that can unlock it. He can deliver a ball over the back line. He can slide it between 2 defenders. He can bend it round the fullback into space. And he's a little bit deep, and that's why Salazar's not really getting as much service as he would like, and Foster's having to do a lot of work defensively, and that's stifling him from getting forward.
Foster actually in the top 31 in terms of shots attempted with 7, so maybe he's one of those ones. We've seen him get touch on the ball on the outside, but just somewhat maybe just from the middle take an opportunity there, see if they can get a different angle, a different viewpoint, just something else going, just challenge the keeper. That's really what has to happen for both these squads.
No, I think Foster's got a certain role tonight. He's been put out on that right-hand side because he's got to take care of Moar and Suggs, and that's why he's finding it difficult to get in the game. But if he's doing that, then you need Enriquez or Lemone to come and get involved a little bit more.
Sent into the box, and that bounces off Salazar as well as Foster. Comes out, and that's going to be deflected.
What a save.
And wow, I don't know how he was able to get a piece on that in Cody Mazel. But somehow.
Brilliant save there from the young Mazel. Gets a little deflection. Once again, it's that Sayabus just gets a little good touch, but tips that round the corner brilliantly. Here, you can see a great little angle. Look, scuffing in, just comes in with a bit of pace, a bit awkward. Great height for him to flicker out around.
First corner of the second half, sent up in the air. Salazar gets his head on it, off of Fuemauer. And that's going to go out of play. A throw in for Rio Grande Valley. Early here in the second half, putting pressure on New Mexico United.
I like this. They've got a bit of tempo. They're the home team. They should come out fast in the second half.
Enriquez.
Hit it.
Salazar. And that's going to be headed up and just over the crossbar by Schmidt. One of those dangerous ones where you don't know if that's going to go under the crossbar, or in that case, just goes over, just stops your heart for a moment.
He does ever so well, Salazar here. For a moment it dropped there, I was like, hit it, because he had to, but it got whipped into him, and he took it well, and his touch just got away from him a little bit, and it sat up perfect for him to try and bend that far post.
Another corner kick opportunity here for Rio Grande Valley.
Just see Janqua there, just having a little moan, just trying, he's going to get the block on for Sayabis.
Sent in, high floater, headed down by Salazar. Oh, Fuemauer, I don't know why he stopped. He had a chance, and I don't know if he thought he had a teammate way to the right. What was he thinking there?
I thought he was going to step onto it and hit it right foot, and he just got caught between 2 minds, just a little bit away from him.
Doesn't hesitate on the bicycle, but that time he does. I guess,
too easy, that one.
I guess he had his one shot, and then that one trying to lay off, but an opportunity there that could have been missed, maybe just because unsure of where his teammate was going to be. And we talked about this in the first half of just with the various players moving up and down, coming in and out. it makes it hard in terms of the chemistry and the communication you have with one another.
100%.
But man, that would have been a good chance.
Oh,
He was able to
dropping
get
onto
on
his
it.
right foot as well again. But much better start. I know we're only obviously 4 or 5 minutes in here, but much better start from Rio Grande Valley. And this is what head coach Gerson spoke about. He was like, yeah.
Foster. Schmidt on him. Enriquez. Enriquez spins. Enriquez dances to the right.
Brilliant.
Shot, and Mazel with another save with that left hand.
Love that from Enriquez.
Just so patient. Went to his right, didn't force it in there, and then went back to the outside.
No, great play. Brilliant. Lovely little ball in.
Trying to give himself that little bit of extra space.
He worked it lovely. He cut it in. He could cut it in and then cut it back out. He worked it really, really well. But another great save there from Mazel. Just a ball up the line here. Gets caught. Foster there, just losing his presence. First time he's really had a little bit of chance to try and attack. Does well here. Brings it inside. And there he's just about to see him. Corner coming in now, but he's just about to see him wriggle on it.
Salazar here on the second half corner pieces. He's been getting his head on the ball. They've been able to find him, just not able to put anything in the back. But Rio Grande Valley seen a lot of action here in the second half already to start things off. A lot different than we saw here in the first half.
No, he's just mentioned about before the build-up that he was saying that they've maybe given him a little bit too much respect and they want to come out and try and attack them also. He said that in his interview, Gerson, you know. So and now we're seeing this. This is a bit more like the team I imagine he was hoping to start with. Much more energy. They're getting forward. They're giving New Mexico a couple of problems with their pace. I felt it was a bit too flat and a bit too slow in the first half.
It's amazing just sometimes how you can communicate that during half, and it looks like that's what was said.
It probably wasn't said. It was probably a rocket, a hairdryer. I don't know if they do hairdryer technique anymore. You probably can't do that with the young players, but in my day it would have been a hairdryer. Trust me, teas and coffees would have gone everywhere, and the sandwiches, we would have been wearing the sandwiches on our head.
How many times in a year, though, can you do that? Once you do it, you can't use it again.
Oh, you can.
You can? All right, fair enough.
No, it depends what type of character you are. But yeah, you know, I'm sure just exactly that. Go out and play. Go and get after it. What are we sitting back for? What are we waiting for? We're the home team. This is our place. This is our style. Let's go out and play. And it looks like they've come out, especially this last 6 minutes, a little bit better.
That one played out. They're going to say last touch by Williams of New Mexico United.
I've given him a lot of talk in the first half about it. The
Salazar, and that one goes off, but Salazar was able to get around on the play. Manny Padilla, who thought he got hit in the face, and there was a little bit of contact there, but the referee said play on, and Foster then able to play the deflection off the end line as Padilla is still slow to get up. And now another corner here, and the last two we've seen Salazar get his head on it, just hasn't been able to direct it towards goal.
Yeah, lovely little in-swinger this now.
Martinez lines up. And swinger, and that one headed away. Good job there by Schmidt for New Mexico United. Salazar on the edge of the box. Garcia. That one goes through Enriquez, but finds the feet of Fuemer. Sent in, and that's going to go over everyone and out.
Great defending there from Mohamed. Great defending, just gets his body in between him and Salazar, but
if Salazar is able to find that ball.
Yeah, he just hangs out back post. Right idea, he's just trying to catch it back post on the angle, but it's really good defending there from the older midfielder, former Penn FC young lad.
Definitely already looking a lot different here in the second half. Rio Grande Valley has come out to play. New Mexico United just still trying to catch their breath from what they have seen from the Toros. Foster gets around Schmidt, able to keep it in. Enriquez! And that is going to go out past the inline. He had a chance if he's able to get that and play it back to Foster. Maybe they can put something together again in terms of a threat on net.
Just another fast little counter-attack. They see Enriquez coming back into picture, and those two can combine well. There's a lovely little space there. Foster just dropped inside. allowed that space for Enriquez to go in behind, and it was a little bit different, you know. First off, we were just seeing Foster trying to go in there, but Enriquez is getting forward now, and that's what they needed.
And now a goal kick for New Mexico United's Cody Mazzell, 27-year-old.
Made 2 good saves in this second half.
Last year with Tampa Bay Rowdies, 15 starts, 4 clean sheets, 41 saves. 16-17 with Charlotte Independence. He's also played in Iceland.
Yeah, good little pedigree there. He's been at some decent clubs. Seems to have found a home here, and sometimes it takes players a couple of clubs, you know. I was fortunate to be around a few clubs, and, you know, sometimes it just settles down straight away, it just clicks, and then other times it takes a couple of months and you can't really know why, you know. It's just the surroundings of it all.
New Mexico United currently finishing up a 3-game road trip. They'll be back home to take on Real Monarchs SLC on Saturday. And for Rio Grande Valley, they will be hosting OKC Energy FC next weekend. Again, seen a little bit of continuation from the first half here into the second half with the physicality, as we'll have a yellow card given out. Third yellow card of the game.
Yeah, Salazar, that's naughty there from Salazar. Salazar, he's coming, you can see why Mohamed's standing over him there. He's caught him late. That is a yellow card.
Salazar
coming late there.
Given the yellow card, his first of the season. For New Mexico United, they are not a team that's afraid to foul. They have 14 yellow cards coming in tonight, so you can make that 15 with the 1 this evening.
You can tell in their mentality that they're going to get yellow cards. You can see both teams, you know, when they're both out of possession, they're trying to press the ball. And
Estrada trying to work around, just unable to get to the ball as that's headed back by Padilla. Salazar, the man who just was awarded that yellow card, if you can say an award. I don't know if that's an award you want, but sometimes it's an award you'll take. Outside, and then that's going to find the paws of Mazzell. No danger there for New Mexico United.
And that there, you know, just watch Salazar, he holds the ball up brilliantly on the halfway line, and he plays a great ball out wide, and he does get clipped, but then his reaction to getting clipped and then trying to get into the box to actually get on the end of that cross is kind of how it was in the first half, a little bit flat. For me there, his power and his strength, once he lays it off like Alan Shearer used to, lay it off on halfway line, got in the box, ball got delivered. And he's that type of player, and he's just laboring outside the box.
Estrada plays it back to Padilla. Estrada, Guzman. Guzman just outside the circle. Suggs. Moar. Back to Suggs. Good job stepping in front there. For Rio Grande Valley was Andrew Samuels getting in front of Moar to play that one up the pitch.
Yeah, it's been an education for him as well, the young lad. Him and Foster, we spoke about it a lot. Sorry, him and Enriquez down this, Foster, beg your pardon, down this right-hand side. They've had to do a real good defensive unit because Suggs is very clever. He doesn't only just play in his position, but when they build up, he comes into midfield and he creates another number in there, and it's making Foster have to come narrow. And the two young lads are working it quite out very well at the minute.
Out a play throwing coming for Rio Grande Valley here in the 58th minute. Shankwa throwing it down the touchline. That one just too strong for Lemonade to get to.
For me, Lemonade's got, I know, for me, he's trying to create a tempo there, Junkwar. I mean, he's trying to throw it down, and you could see him. He had the ball in his hand. He was looking for someone, and again, they just sort of, they had that little spell of about 8 minutes. They've just gone a little bit flat for me, Rio Grande Valley, and that's a prime example there. Ball goes out of play, pick it up, quick throw-ins, keep the tempo. You're the home team, maintain it, try and push them, try and keep the crowd behind you.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Williams. Goes all the way back to Schmidt. Tite. Schmidt. Jumping on him was Foster. Near turnover by Schmidt, but he's able to hold on. And then he'll send it out, so it will result in a turnover and a throw for Rio Grande Valley. Mexico United looking a little bit lethargic here to start out the second half. And Rio Grande Valley just coming out firing here in the second half. Just a little bit of difference in play between the two squads right now.
Yeah, just managed to be able to lift that tempo up and came out a little bit faster than New Mexico United. I like this lad Guzman. He does well. He goes unsung in that team. Him and Mohamed, they really hold down the midfield, and you don't hear his name that much, but he does this very well. He just keeps the ball moving. You can see him pulling in at little pockets, tries to keep it ticking, and you know, he's done well today.
Estrada. Padilla. Right back to Estrada, right between the legs. Estrada. Pass, and you like the thought there of Estrada trying to get that diagonal pass, that 6-yard box, just no one there for New Mexico United.
He's got to stand it up back post for me. He had an opportunity, he gets to the byline, the tight he gets there, he's got two lads at the back post, both of their arms in the air, and he keeps it on the floor and he gets cut out. He's got to have a little bit more craft there.
Padilla trying to squeeze that one through, unable to reach his target, and Estrada. Schmidt. Tite. Mohamed.
Brilliant, great turn.
Suggs. Oh, just out of the reach. Trying to get to Williams, I believe, was in there. If not, that was Weehan.
Just trying to thread that eye of a needle there, wasn't he? Just opened up, lovely little play. He had movement, he had a runner coming in from the left-hand side as well, and he's just tried to slop it through that gap.
Great look there at Gershon Echeverry. Martinez.
Comfortable on the ball.
Foymayer. Up the touchline. Cutting back in. Salazar unable to get on top. Muhammad turns with it. Estrada. Taken away. Salazar. Shot rises above. What a chance there for Rio Grande Valley. Lemonade, the 18-year-old.
Salazar does very well. Great little combination from Lemonade there, the 18-year-old, like you said. And he just, here, hold-up play here is good from Salazar. Just cuts it inside. He takes it first time. Just gets under it too much. Gets a little clip and goes over. But you can see there, great little thing. He's trying to open it up, maybe try and hit back post. A little bit of whip over the top of the goalkeeper.
The composure of Lemonade at that age is just, you saw it last week and you're starting to see it, well, I guess really this season, but you're starting to see it even more so tonight with that chance right there. There's just nothing that's stopping him from, he doesn't hesitate, he doesn't think twice. When he gets the ball, he knows what he wants to do and he tries to execute it. Whether it works or not, at least he's not overthinking things at that age.
No, and it's the way they're brought up, you know, it's part of their system, it's what they're to. They're coming in there to try and play and score goals. They're not playing with any fear. And, you know, that's how it should be.
Throw in for Rio Grande Valley.
And that's, you know, that's a culture. That's not just a, you know, that's a culture that they're able to come in and do that, and they're allowed to come in at that age and take those risks, because they are risks, but they're more than happy to do it. And, you know, I think it's excellent.
Enriquez. Shankwa. Lemonade, back to Shankwa.
just see, look, Jean-Claude's coming out here, but there's no one really in the middle of the field. There's no one to combine with here.
Just a little bit too much on that pass intended for Lemonade. But there was some space to work with if that just doesn't have as much pace as it did on the ball.
Yeah, I'd just like to see Foster dart in there on an angle. There's so much space. Salazar's staying high and pinning them, and if Foster just darts in there on the angle, he'll get on the ball.
Schmidt. Guzman. Mazel. Plays it past the halfway line. Moore trying to sneak through, unable to, because that's dispossessed by Martinez.
Great feet.
Enriquez. Enriquez goes down, and he's going to get the whistle.
No, we didn't need to do that, Enriquez. That's not cool at all.
And a kick coming, though, for Rio Grande Valley. New Mexico United is going to try to argue. Enriquez is going to show where he was hit. The first one, all right. The second one was a little bit too much.
He does everything well. He gets a free kick, and then afterwards, he's being silly. Look, he does well. What great feet. Gets round, he gets pulled, he gets tugged here. And that's a foul. And he's done nothing there. He's thrown his head into him after there. He's made a meal of it. He made himself look silly there at the end, Enriquez, because he's done everything right. Never want to see a player try and get somebody sent off like that. I don't like things like that. No, it's definitely a foul, 100%. Pulls his shirt. But there, he's gone into him trying to say he's been punched in the face.
Padilla already had his hands to the outside of his body there. It's just one of those ones where
he's a young boy there. He's got to learn.
You don't like to see, especially, but something that a 21-year-old will learn.
For sure.
Unfortunately, you have to make mistakes like that, and that's where you learn from them.
Yeah.
And now Martinez will line up.
Great play, like you said, but just that last bit at the end trying to get the lad sent off.
Martinez sends it in, punched up, and a corner kick coming for Rio Grande Valley. Again, trying to find the head of Salazar. Right now, there is a bullseye for Salazar's head. And the question is, can they find that bullseye and find the back of the net?
Another great delivery from Martinez. A little bit difficult there. Again, an in-swinger hard for the goalkeeper there, Manziel to come. He came a little bit, he was a little bit flapping there. He did get good contact. For me, if you're Martinez now, I'd probably drill one right into that area again and let the lads come and attack it. Lovely ball.
In. Jean-Claude falls down. Moore trying to find Guzman.
Looking for a penalty there, wasn't he? Very Mark.
Trying to draw it in the box, get him to go that spot, but again, you don't fall down like that. You stay up. He might have a chance to be on top of the ball, to give a chance for a pass, to give a chance for a shot outside, to do a cross, who knows? And that's what happens sometimes when you leave your feet trying to draw a foul or a penalty. Mazel.
Better tempo though to the second half. It was what the game was missing a little bit.
Guzman.
Needed to be a bit sharper, and they're doing, you know, both teams have stepped it up in the second half.
Williams tripped up. Muhammad. He'll go to the pitch and he'll get the whistle. Muhammad and Williams have to work out tight quarters there. Do a good job at battling their way out. In that case, for Muhammad, drawing the whistle.
He looked very Yaya Toure there, didn't he? Driving from midfield like the old Man City captain. What a player he was. Used to pick it up there and just drive forward. He done well, Muhammad.
Tite. Still 0-0 here in the 68th minute. Mazel. Tite. Into the middle. Estrada trying to find Weehan. Muhammad. Guzman right back to Muhammad. Muhammad with a little bit of space. Suggs. And cutting right in front of Moore on the play is Rio Grande Valley, but then giving it right back to New Mexico United. Williams. Williams just on the edge, outside of Moore. Moore into the box, trying to cut back. Moore up in the air, Estrada, and that is well wide.
He done very well to get that ball in there, Moa, and Estrada just got under it. It was a great little dink up. And I think there was a player coming on that might have had a little bit of a better look coming onto it rather than Estrada, who was having to come back to try and reach and head that.
Moore just does a good job protecting the ball. In whatever way he moves, just keeps everyone off his feet and does a good job shielding himself.
Well, it's because he could go both ways. You know, and this is for young players out there. But when you could do that and go both ways from a defensive understanding, it's really difficult because you have to respect that he might dink it right foot or he might dink it left foot. Ball over the top there, you just see beg your pardon, Salazar trying to get on. Just a little bit too long a ball, but you know, you have to respect that, and that's where he does so well, Mo. He always, you know, why he stands out for me is because he gets an end product.
Let's see our first substitution of the game here. Just a matter of moments. Lemonade. Garcia. That's going to go out of play. And now we will see that substitution. That'll be Tommy Madden, number 23, 21-year-old out of Baltimore, Maryland, replacing Manny Padilla. So Padilla comes off after having a relatively quiet evening. And now Tommy Madden in to replace him.
You know, and we spoke about that in the first half, and I found that, you know, I've seen that so many times in games when players, teammates have gone back to their own club, and it's either a 10 out of 10, you score an hat-trick and it's the best game ever, or you get subbed after 65, 70 minutes because you've had no impact. And for me today, Padilla hasn't got down that right-hand side. He hasn't been as impactful as he possibly can, and you could see that sub coming.
How much is that on Padilla, and how much is that also on Rio Grande Valley and just the way they performed?
No, I think the way that they played, his foul has just dived in there, caught him on Moa.
And we'll have another yellow card, the fourth of the evening.
Samuels comes flying in there on Moa. Moa just gets his body in the way and turns him.
See who they give this.
But no, just going back to what you were saying there, I think from an outside back standpoint, I think you can get in the game. I think that you can come and find the ball. I don't think that it's so much Rio Grande Valley in their shape, because for me, they're quite open in some respects, and you can find it. He's just a young lad, and he's not been able to find it today.
Basis off for Rio Grande Valley.
I spoke highly of that Cabezas in the pre-game, and he didn't quite have his best of games to me for the quality that I've seen for him before.
Sent in and headed out by Fuemeyer. Muhammad. Estrada. Lemonade on him. Guzman. Schmidt. Into the box, low liner, Moore! And that one blocked by Fuemeyer. Fuemeyer is having a good game on both sides of the ball for the Toros. That one headed up by Martinez. And doing the smart thing, coming out and just grabbing it is Tyler Derrick.
Yeah, Fremont, like you said, Fremont does excellent there, because the moment that drops to Moa, you're thinking he's just got one place to put this, and then the big centre-back come across with a great block. Derrick
will send that forward. Martinez.
Just seeing New Mexico United now just trying to get back into shape. They're a little bit slower getting back into shape. This is where the game will probably open up in this next 18 minutes.
Foster. Guzman on him. Shankwa. Enriquez. Enriquez towards the end line. Shankwa.
I like Enriquez a lot. You just see his intent there, and the young lad just wants to get on the ball and drive at you.
Freymare. Shankwa. Enriquez. Martinez works his way out of the circle. Far touchline, that's going to go out for a kick. Fans, follow Rio Grande Valley FC and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Josh Toll and Sam Stockley here. Beautiful night in Edinburgh, Texas. 0-0 is our score here as we approach the 75th minute.
What you see now is you see Lemonade going out on that right-hand side, and you've got Foster now in his more comfortable position on his left-hand side. I think he's better on this left-hand side. I think he's...
Estrada, Williams, and that one just poked away.
Offside.
Offside, so up first. But now New Mexico United is starting to find some rhythm. Things starting to change in their direction. For the second half, it looked like it was going to be all Rio Grande Valley.
And they got Enriquez playing number 11. He's playing more centrally now, Josh, and that will be, I like him in there. I think just seeing him on that left-hand side for this last 15 minutes, put him underneath Salazar, I think he could have a little impact in this 15 minutes.
Who's up, who's down, where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USLChampionship.com. Williams. Muhammad. Williams undercutting the Toro on that one.
Just looked like there, Troy, the head coach, looked like he was going to try and lace one up that back into play and realised he had his slip shoes on and probably didn't want to slip on the dew. Just pulled off it a little bit.
In is Tony Solar, out is Juan Guzman. Guzman, like you said, very productive there in that holding midfield position tonight.
I think he's had a very, very solid game. He keeps that whole sort of midfield ticking a little bit because Mohamed's very forward thinking, and then you have Suggs, who's a left back but comes in there and helps support a little bit.
Solar out of Valencia, Spain. The University of Tampa as well as Adelphi University. And Rodriguez now will come in for Rio Grande Valley, and he'll replace Michael Salazar. Freymare far or to the near side, headed away.
Now Foster's in that 9 position. He's gone in there for Salazar, and Rodriguez looks like to come out on this left-hand side. That's much better having Foster up there. I think he's got a little bit more pace, and I think got a better opportunity in these last 40 minutes to get on the end of the ball. Don't be surprised if they look to release him quick.
Madden. Push forward. Oh, trying to get it over to Williams was Moar. Good couple touches there, just unable to connect on that final pass. Schmidt. Solar, who just checked in not too long ago.
Lovely ball there from Solar. Lovely left foot ping.
Estrada. Tommy Madden into the middle of the pitch. Solar. Tite. Estrada just outside the box. Madden. Estrada looking to link up with someone. It's Madden. And then Madden can't get the return pass as that goes off the right foot of Estrada. And then Madden nearly steals away but knocks it out of play instead.
It's been a tough evening for me for Estrada. The quality that he's got, he's really had a bit of a tough day for me, you know, and that sort of summed it up there. A little give and go, and then kicks it out of play, and you can see him put his hands on his head, and then the throw-in's already taken and it's put over his head, and you're looking, he's just sort of a little bit of a tough evening for him tonight.
Shankwa. There you see the Stampede, the supporters of Rio Grande Valley.
That's great stuff. That's what it's called, the Stampede.
They've been loud all night. It's always great when you get the drum line out there and going.
Got to get a drum line going.
It just changes the atmosphere. And then when you start to add the flares in, then it gets really fun.
Love it. It's a great stadium to be full.
Beautiful stadium. Lots of things happening before the game that we saw, and then they had the bubble soccer going on at halftime. A lot of fun things that the Toros are putting on.
I think they've got a inflatable ball rink as well that you can hang on tight to if you need to.
I would hope so.
I would hope so, especially.
That seems like that would be only natural.
I think a couple of games when I covered a game a couple of games ago, they had some wrestling in the wrestling corner going on as well. It's beautiful.
A little bit of everything. All about entertaining and having fun while at the park. But more importantly, they want their team to win, and they got about 10 more minutes, and then we'll see how much stoppage time is added on.
And that's where Schmidt and Tite is just going to have to be clever in this last 12 minutes. Any loose ball or any ball, and there go those two centre-backs are asleep, Foster's going to be in, because you can see him. He's already playing higher. He's already playing on the last shoulder, and he's very active. So they'll have to be really careful, those two centre-backs for New Mexico United.
Estrada grabbing onto the jersey of Lemone, and Lemone goes down, holding his right leg. I mean, he's 18. He's got to be all right, just complaining about going down. Shankwa. Garcia.
And I think you can, you know, it's a great way that you can see how players have plugged out of the system and players have plugged in, and yet the style stays the same.
Martinez jumps over one man's leg, now works it to the outside of Shankwa. Garcia.
Oh, that's nice.
Across the pitch. And then played out.
He's got to use his experience there, Samuels. It's a great ball. He's struggling. Rather than trying to cut that round the corner and get to the byline, he's just got to get it off him and get a corner.
Get a corner, try to cut it back maybe in that case
too? If that's me, ball over the top there like that, getting onto it, I would just try. Everything I'm trying to do is just get it off the defender to get myself a corner or a throw-in. I'm not trying to deliver that ball there.
Fans get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Rio Grande Valley FC and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on Rio Grande Valley FC's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. So feel free to do that for New Mexico United or any one of the other teams in USL Championship play. If you want, just follow all of them, and then you get an alert just about every 5 minutes, which everyone loves. Garcia, Shankwa.
You can hear them trying to get them up. You can hear Troy, the head coach for New Mexico United, shouting at his team, up, up, up. The moment that ball goes back, what a ball.
Nice through ball, and then trying to push it across was Foster. Now it does. Oh, it just goes under the leg there of Lemone.
Could have had a little claim for a pass back either. If I was on there, you'd have had a little claim, but That's what Foster does, though. You know, he gives you that little bit of acceleration, that space in behind, and you see a perfect example of it, and they're getting a shot on goal.
Well, it's funny, we're seeing him do things like that from the outside, and now from the inside making a difference.
Yeah, it's so much harder because obviously you're headed straight to goal, so centre-backs have to respect it a little bit more.
We'll have a whistle and foul, and Muhammad doing a good job winning the ball for New Mexico United, as we'll have another sub, and off will come Lemonade, who had another good game tonight for Rio Grande Valley. Camilo Monroy in out of Medellin, Colombia. Monroy 5'6", 146-pound 20-year-old. Again, youth all over this Toros team.
He'll go straight in the same position in that central point under Foster as the 10. It's where he's played before. Another little crafty player. Monroy got a bit of pace.
That one goes over Junqua. Estrada trying to get there, but Junqua with the left boots it out of play.
If my memory stands me right, I think he went back into the youth team and scored some goals. So it just goes to show the continuity between them.
Suggs. That one cleared up by Garcia. Throwing coming here in the 84th minute. Solar. Tite.
I think New Mexico, looking at this, if they come away with this with a draw, I think they're a bit disappointed, especially after getting a win on last week and then coming in with the goals that they've been scoring all season to suddenly pick RGV to not be the team to fire against. I think they'll be disappointed because the one thing that, you know, all credit to RGV, they've been excellent and they've had some good chances going forward, but they are susceptible for a goal.
Monroy trying to squeeze his way through the box, and we'll see where they say throw in, and that's what it's looking like. New Mexico United, this is actually the first game at the moment where they have not scored a goal.
We were sat post-game saying there's going to be goals, weren't we? And it's been a bit of a stalemate at the moment.
Enrique's back post! And that one just rises over, but late here in the action.
Great idea, wonderful idea. Sorry, it's just such a lovely angle, isn't it? You just opened up.
Just plenty of space, had the exact angle like you said. Try to go upper V, but just a little bit off. And what a way that would have been to have a goal here late. Off is Estrada.
It's been a tough night for Estrada for me.
And Goss is in.
Here's this effort now, brilliant. Look, it just comes back to the young lad there. It just gets stuck under his feet. If he just rolls it out of his feet another yard, he can get his body in the right place and really whip it, and he just got stuck under it. Great opportunity, though, to go 1-0 up.
Martinez. Monroy. Shot, and that one just to the left. What an opportunity there for Rodriguez.
It's brilliant.
Rodriguez, oh wow, here.
Great build up again. Just comes into Rodriguez there, brilliant, like brilliant. Just drags it, bottom left-hand corner. He's doing everything right. He's trying to go across the keeper low, gets a little roll, uses the surface, and just drags it wide.
Enrique misses high into the right, and then Rodriguez low into the left.
Summed it up for him, isn't it, tonight?
Some missed chances for sure on shots on target, but Rio Grande Valley here in the second half, excuse me, if they continue to play like this throughout the year, I think they're gonna start seeing success come their way, because they have looked like a different team completely here against the #2 team in the standings.
I 100% agree. I've said all along they've got some really good pieces. They've got some young, exciting players, but the hardest thing at that next level is to score goals. But you hope that once they start scoring, it will sort of break the seal and some will come along, because first half for me, New Mexico, was the best, with a better team. Moaz down the left-hand side was dominating it. It was hard for Foster to get involved, but for me in this second half, RGV's come straight back in. They started right, and they've had the better opportunities.
Williams tumbles to the ground. And here in the 88th minute, good chance for New Mexico United. So you're seeing a little bit of trickery here on some various set pieces between Suggs and Weehan.
Ideal for Suggs. This is left foot, whip it up over the wall. Wants it just dropping in and around on that penalty spot, in between a penalty spot and a 6-yard box.
Up into the air, and that one just off New Mexico United. Justin Schmidt on that back post, sliding through, so close.
Just needed a touch. Just needed a touch to get it back across goal.
Schmidt just needed to be 6'2" rather than 6'1", maybe 6'3", and maybe if he's able to lengthen his body somehow, able to get a piece of that. But Rio Grande on the other side, and now New Mexico United still here, almost near the 90th minute. Both teams not giving up just yet, not settling for that draw. Enriquez falls over,
good
and
defending.
Madden is going to be called, and Madden is going to get a yellow card.
He doesn't complain to me. Just Madden gets caught just on the outside of Enrique coming in there. But first thought was he actually got his body in there and did well, but we'll see in this replay.
5 yellow cards this evening.
Just lets the ball skip through on the surface there, and he's in the right side of him, and no, it's a shove in the back, Madden there. He has to take it as well. Lad's going through on goal.
And now Camilo Monroy sets up.
Looks like he fancies this, the way he's setting it up.
Mazzell trying to direct his teammates where he wants them to be positioned. 3-man wall.
Get this, just a dip in front of the keeper if he can.
Monroy from Colombia. Up in that one, well above the crossbar and out of play. But you said he fancied it, he took a go.
It's got to be Summit from there, Josh. It's got to be Summit. If he's going to hit that, he's got to hit it. It can't be that sort of floaty one that he sort of tried. It's almost like he wanted to give it the Ronaldo strike, but just pulled off it. But you see what he's trying to do. He's trying to hit it true to get the dip.
3 minutes of stoppage time added on. 3 minutes for a chance for one of these two to somehow pull off a late goal. We'll see if that happens as it comes down to Enriquez. Monroy. Foster on that inline.
Handball.
And they're going to say no handball.
He looked it from here.
That one off Madden. So saying must have gotten that chest.
First thought was handball.
Rio Grande Valley definitely would have taken a handball there. New Mexico United supporters bailed out. So the curse not cursed on that one. Monroy. Foster back heel. Enriquez. Working his way around Madden into the box. Crosses. And no one there for Rio Grande Valley. Martinez plays it to the outside. Sit in. Monroy finds it at his feet. Monroy fires, blocked by Schmidt.
He'd done everything right to deliver that ball. He got well inside him and then just pulled it back at the wrong angle.
Flaymayer. Garcia. That one cleared away.
Don't know why Garcia, the centre-back's up there in the last 2 minutes of stoppage time. I know he took the ball, but surely he's got to get back into position a little bit quicker in case he gets countered. Look at him, he's just getting back in now.
Junqua, as we enter that 93rd minute.
Hit it. Oh, he wanted to as well.
Had a chance.
Shouldn't have stopped. He had it. Great little movement there. Took it through Mohamed.
just going to the right there.
See Kopi there, just great little touch. He's side on and puts it through Mohamed's legs, and then just, you see, looked like he was going to take the step to hit it, and either he just gets clipped or just changes his mind at the last minute. But why not in the last minute of injury time? That's the one that you hit and it goes in top corner and you're doing the length of the field and running home.
What you gotta like, really, for both squads here in the second half, neither one giving up. It hasn't been the greatest second half for New Mexico United, but still fighting their way, still keeping goals out of the back of the net. And Rio Grande Valley just putting a ton of pressure on. I think for this game, it's something that both teams can work on. And really, you can go back, New Mexico United can work on fixing the second half of this game, and Rio Grande the first half.
100%, 100%, you know, and to me it just comes down to a mentality, and it comes down to tempo. And if they came out with a first mentality with a high tempo, I think either team would have had this sort of performance for both halves. He's made a difference going centrally, though, for me, Foster, because he can do this. He's done well. They didn't have that in the first half. Salazar is a hold-up player where Foster wants to get him behind.
Maybe one last chance here.
Great defending from Suggs there, veteran left back.
Rodriguez, and the whistle will blow. So Rio Grande Valley not able to get one final shot attempt there, and both these two teams will come out with 1 point each, both wanting 3, but they will settle for 1. That's better than 0. But what a game tonight, and both teams coming out on top with a point.
I actually think there that the Gran Rio Valley head coach can be very happy with that. 0-0 for his team. They've been conceding goals, I think, you know, when he reflects that. Brilliant going forward and an excellent defensive performance from both sides.
For New Mexico United, they came in second in the standings. Rio Grande Valley in dead last in the standings, but looking to change that. We'll be back with some more from you here from Rio Grande Valley. Welcome back into HB Park here in Edinburgh, Texas. Rio Grande Valley FC 0, New Mexico United 0, and it was a game, a tale really of two halves, but ultimately both teams strong enough to settle for the 0-0 tie.
Yeah, you just see a picture of them. You can see Moa having a drink. He can be happy with his work. A little bit quiet in the second half, but him and Suggs, they're 5. They worked hard down that left-hand side, and they tried to create some stuff, and just sort of fizzled out a bit in the second half, but credit to Rio Grande Valley and the way that they came forward. I think it made a big difference when Rodriguez came on, when they brought Monroy in, and you're going to see some of the highlights. This was just early to start with. There you can see Weehan just getting an opportunity. He's trying to open his body up and bend it far post, and one of the few opportunities on this right-hand side in the first half, ball in there. Martinez coming in for a great diving header, and keeper gets away with this for me there. He mistimes it. See Salazar there just being a bit of a nuisance, and the goalkeeper's complaining for a foul, but I didn't think there was much in there.
That one headed away, but Jean-Qua heads it back in and just bounces around in there.
What we wanted. That was the one we wanted. The overhead kick from the centre-back Famar, but just here he tees it up. As it comes back in here, we're thinking, perfect. It sets it up. He wants it, and he just doesn't catch it.
Could have been goal of the week right there, but unfortunately, it just goes right over the crossbar.
Little deflection. This first, right in the second half, Goalkeeper there, Mizell, makes 2 really good saves. That was the second one you see down to his left-hand post. And here for me, when Salazar turns this, he does everything right. He's trying to whip it far post, touch off him, and again, another block. And here you see Foster in a bit of a more advanced position. And this was what changed the game a little bit for me, him sort of stretching them, and they had a couple of chances. Last one here was with Enriquez, who was twisting and turning.
Foster there just spinning away and getting that pass into Enriquez, and we talked about that, just his composure, and just create a little bit more space to get that shot on, as we'll take a look at the stats from tonight's match. Not a team with any goals, but Rio Grande Valley Toros, I think probably 12 of those 14 shots came in the second half, a big difference in terms of the shots per half possession. You see New Mexico United there 52 to 48%. A lot of yellow cards given out tonight.
It's becoming a little bit of a problem for me for Rio Grande Valley. No, last week they had 13 shots, 2 on target. I called them a couple of weeks ago and they had 14 shots, 2 on target. So once they tighten that up, for me, they're going to be a real good force and they'll have an opportunity. But New Mexico did well. We
end here tonight. RGV Toros 0, New Mexico United 0. I'm Josh Toll for Sam Stockley, Jake Leota, Jonathan Tessler, and Paul Robinson. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.